stream. That's when I make a beeline for the tree line. That's when I make a beeline for the tree line.
Hey everyone, long time no see, I guess. I don't usually do these SpongeBob month intros very long, unless it's like, the beginning episode or something like that. But for this one, it's going to have to be a little bit longer because I owe you guys an explanation for why you haven't been getting uploads lately until last night when you got my red pants cover. It is because I have gone through another move. I am back in my actual place here in Woodland, so that's why I couldn't really do videos, because I was in the middle of moving, and yesterday it was my first day back here, and I wanted to kind of just unwind, if you know what I mean. And as for the day beforehand, it was because I wasn't really sure if I was moving that day or not, so I didn't want to start anything in case it ended up happening, and I'd have to re-record the video, and it would take a lot longer. So I apologize for the hiatus. I can only hope that today's content will help make up for it. The Aquatic Neptune reactions are going to have to get pushed back again. I apologize, but unfortunately, I just don't have the time to do them at the moment. But I promise you they will be soon. I'm going to try to aim for the 14th and the 15th, because there's only 2 Aquatic Neptune videos I have not reacted to yet, so it's not going to be like a super big marathon of them like it was last time, but I think you'll still get some enjoyment out of them. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update, and I apologize for not telling you in the community section or anything like that. I've just been so scatterbrained and busy lately that I haven't really had time to make videos until last night, when I had just enough time to get that cover done, and it was because it was a shorter song. But I can promise you that A, today's cover is going to be a lot longer, and it'll be out later, and B, that I'm going to start doing these regularly again. I can't say how regularly, but I promise you I will do my best to keep on a regular schedule and get caught up as fast as I can. So how it's going to work is that today you are going to get this episode review, and then next you're also going to get a 4-episode review, and then we'll save the other 4 episodes I have not done up to this point for tomorrow. So yeah, that's the plan, and we're going to see how it goes from there. Like I said, I'm going to try to aim for the 14th and the 15th for the Aquatic Neptune reactions. They'll be back to back. So yes, and there's still a lot of covers to go, and I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with the ones that I chose. Most of them are pre-movie songs, because, well, we gotta go in somewhat of a chronological order. Though I couldn't really get a concrete list of them in chronological order, so if, some are here and some are there, please don't try to correct me, I understand. But, okay, that's the big explanation out of the way. Now let's get on to the actual thing you're here for, and that is the episode reviews of the day, or of this video. So, let's dive in together. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one substitute for anything and everything animation, including a sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea, as well as TV and movies. I am your host, Jackson Small, and welcome back to SpongeBob Month, Chapter 6. Today we're going to be taking a look at 2 episodes. One of them is really good, and the other one is really, really bad. Yeah, unfortunately, today's reviews aren't going to be very pleasant. We have Patty Caper. No, it's not the Season 7 special. There is a difference. I will explain it when we get to that. And the abysmal, infamous garbage that is Plankton's regular. So, without further ado, you guys know how it works by now. I'll talk about each episode individually, and then final thoughts at the end. And I only do rankings if the episodes are all good. If there's any bad ones, I just don't bother. So this one, there's no rankings at the end, it's just going to be my overall final thoughts. So, without further ado or delay, let's begin with Patty Caper. not gonna lie, it's kind of odd how often I forget how much this episode surprises me. Because, well, for one, it's season 6, and number 2, well, it shares the name with the special from the next season. So let me get this out of the way right now to keep you guys from getting confused. Patty Caper and The Great Patty Caper are 2 different episodes. One of them is a normal 11-minute episode, which is the one that we're actually reviewing today. And then the other one is a special called The Great Patty Caper from season 7, which we'll review in 2025. So, just want to make that clear. There is a difference between the two. I don't know why they reused the same. I don't know why they reused the same title twice. That's stupid in my opinion. But I'm not Nickelodeon, so what do I know? But yep, just to let you know, there is a difference. We're talking about the episode, not the special. Now let's talk about the episode, because the episode itself is actually pretty good. It's not like the most amazing thing ever by any means, absolutely not. But it is a solid, interesting little mystery episode that just happens to have a really stupid ending. But we will get there when we get there. So, in this episode, SpongeBob is tasked with taking a secret ingredient for the Krabby Patties from a delivery. And when he gets the delivery, he sees that there's a hole in the suitcase. And after Patrick does anything but help... Yeah, Patrick sucks in this episode. He's back to being mid-season stupid. They decide to go on a little investigation to try and figure out who stole the recipe. The secret Krabby Patty recipe that they needed that they were out of stock of. And obviously the first suspect is Plankton, but it turns out it's actually not him. And then there's a couple other suspects, and then right when everything is about to, turn the other way because Mr. Krabs suddenly thinks that SpongeBob is the one who did it, despite all his investigation, it's revealed that Krabs himself stole his own recipe. Yeah, why? Why do you need to steal your own recipe if it's going to the same exact place? And then his punishment at the end for stealing his own formula is to watch people be given free Krabby Patties for a day. Yeah, ending's kind of weak, but the rest of it is actually not a bad mystery, and I think that's another reason why this gets confused with the Season 7 special, The Great Patty Caper, because both of them have a mystery plot of kind of the same basic origin. So I can kind of understand why people get confused, but they are 2 different things. One of them happens on a train, and one of them actually happens in Bikini Bottom. So, yeah, I guess that's just mid-season laziness. But like I said, the episode itself is still pretty good. I still think there's some decent laughs in here. There are some pretty good highlights. I do like how they treat the actual, delivery of the formula almost like one of those, for lack of a better term, big drug deals you see in, a crime show. I think that's actually kind of funny. And then I do like the entire scene where they interrogate Plankton. That's the second highlight. That whole scene's actually golden because, well, for once, it wasn't him. And the way that they're actually able to prove that it's not him is actually both in character and kind of unexpected and funny. So, I mean, it's no Spy Buddies, absolutely not. But it is still a fun little mystery espionage episode that I do really enjoy. I do think that the ending is stupid. It does sap a lot of the wind out of the sails, because if that ending wasn't so stupid, this would probably be an 8, because I do remember and enjoy this episode, but because of that ending, and because Patrick is back to being frustratingly stupid rather than charmingly stupid, and yes, there is a difference, I cannot give it 8. I cannot call it great, but what I can call it is a 7 out of 10. I can call it a pretty good episode that doesn't get talked about enough, and that's a shame. Is it better than the actual special of the same name? Well, we'll find out next year. But as for right now, this is a pretty good episode. If you haven't watched it yet, it wouldn't hurt to give it a try. But if it ends up not working for you, I can understand. I just think the episode itself is pretty good and pretty enjoyable, regardless of its faults. Okay, let's flip it around, because now we gotta take out another trash bag. Let's talk about Plankton's Regular. This is probably one of the worst Plankton episodes. And it's not even Plankton's fault. It's just a terrible, terrible episode in every single sense of the word. It is mid-season SpongeBob at its absolute most annoying and obnoxious. Now, SpongeBob himself isn't annoying. He's actually okay in this episode. Now, the big reason why this episode sucks so bad is, well, the ending. But we will get to it when we get to it. So, what's the plot of the episode? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Plankton ends up finding a customer who likes his chum. Who actually legitimately likes his chum and comes back almost every day to get a chum steak. And at first, this is a really cool thing because it means that, well, for one, Plankton succeeded. He didn't have to bribe or murder anybody. And, well, he is getting a customer with his own product, not stealing from the Krusty Krab. But then he gets big-headed about it and ends up flaunting him to Krabs openly in his own restaurant, which gets Krabs suspicious, and him and SpongeBob try to pull his customer back to the Krusty Krab. Now, I do think that the way that SpongeBob tries to pull the customer back in is actually pretty funny. But it has a scene of unnecessary gruesomeness when SpongeBob gets his face peeled off. No, I did not need to see that, and it didn't fit in the episode, so no, I'm going to call that out as unnecessary. And Krabs is just at his worst here, because, goodness forbid that Plankton has one customer so he can stop trying to steal his damn formula. Like, that is dumb. Not even mid-season dumb, just dumb. Like, let Plankton have his one customer, damn it. Let him actually have some success in his life, instead of being a greedy freaking cheapskate. Yes, I get that's Krabs' character, but he still cared about Plankton to an extent in the first 4 seasons. But now, especially when we get to season 7, all he does is torment him. Even worse than when SpongeBob torments Squidward, believe it or not. But the biggest nail in the coffin of this episode is its ending, which just completely ruins everything. So, Krabs tries to steal the formula. He tries to steal Plankton's formula, which I think it's a funny role reversal. And he gets captured, the same way that, well, Plankton got squished by Krabs earlier in the Krusty Krab, with a spoon. But in this case, it's a giant spoon hooked up to a robotic arm. And then SpongeBob comes in, acts mid-season oblivious, and then he also gets captured with a spoon of his own. And that is when Nash, the name of the customer, comes into the into the chum bucket. And it looks like he's about to buy another chum steak right in front of Krabs. But that's when Nash reveals that Karen, Plankton's wife, Plankton's computer wife, Karen, paid off Nash to eat Plankton's chum so he would stop complaining. For one, that is petty. For two, that is a beyond lazy cop-out. And 3, you could come up with many, many better ways to reset it back to the status quo, rather than having Krabs win for pretty much no reason, in what's supposed to be Plankton's episode. This episode sucks. There's no other word for it. I mean, SpongeBob is decent in this episode, and I do think he can be funny. Like, I do think the whole airplane gag was actually pretty good. But outside of that, this episode sucks, and the writing sinks it, and then it just sinks even lower by that terrible garbage ending. And because of that, the episode is trash. Bottom barrel trash. One of the worst that we have looked at so far. Is it worse than Gone? Oh, hell no. Not even close. But it is still a terrible episode, and it does not deserve to be watched by anyone, and deserves to just be forgotten, just like most of mid-season SpongeBob. Final verdict for this trash is a 2 out of 10. It is a garbage episode that's only gotten worse with every single watch. Like, the first time I watched it, I thought it was like a 4 out of 10, it was okay. And then every subsequent watch after that, I noticed more and more problems, and yeah, now I just hate this stinking thing, and I never want to watch it again. But, hey, that's one more trash SpongeBob episode I never have to talk about again after this review. So let's go ahead and move on to our final thoughts. Again, no rankings because this episode sucks, and, well, I mean, it's beyond obvious. Yeah, so, final thoughts, Patty Caper is underrated, and I do think it's an episode that deserves to be watched if you haven't yet. And Plankton's regular is a terrible piece of garbage and arguably one of the worst episodes of Season 6. So, yep, that is pretty much everything that we have to say for today's review. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Sponge-tastic videos like this almost every single day. And stay tuned because, like I said in the opening, next up, we're doing 4 episodes in one video. It's because all 4 of them are some of the most infamous, terrible, dumpster fire, garbage episodes in all of SpongeBob, not just Season 6. So, prepare yourself for 4 very, very bad episodes. Those episodes are SpongeBob Round Pants, Squid's Visit, The Splinter, and Slide Whistle Stooges. I can only hope that my sanity survives that video when I get to the other side. So yeah, it will be misery for me, but should be good entertainment for you to watch me rage. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.
Lesson I want to forget, so listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who ripped it.